So, what's AI really going to look like in 2026? We're not just talking about slightly smarter chatbots here. No, we're on the verge of a future that holds incredible promise, some pretty significant peril, and a fundamental change in how we all live and work. Let's break down what's actually coming.
This quote, it just gets right to the heart of it all. In this world, humans become the bottleneck. I mean, what a startling idea, right? The thought that AI's power could soon outpace our ability to even keep up with it. And to really understand what that means, we've got to look at a huge shift in what AI is even becoming.
You see, by 2026, we're expected to move way beyond AI that just answers our questions. We are now entering the era of autonomous AI agents, systems that are designed to actually do things for us out in the world.
So what really makes an AI agent different? Well, it all comes down to one word: autonomy. Think about it this way. You know how a chatbot forgets your entire conversation the second you close the window? An agent is the total opposite. You can give it a really complex goal, and it will plan, use software, remember what it did yesterday, and just keep working for hours, maybe even days, until the job is done. And the scale we're talking about here is it's mind-blowing. This isn't about some little 5-minute task. I want you to imagine assigning an agent a massive legal research project. It could just chip away at that for over a day, completely nonstop, processing what would be thousands and thousands of pages of text to give you a finished result. And a capability like that completely flips the script on the old workflow. We're moving beyond that simple model of AI drafts something, a human reviews it. The new process is more like a 3-step dance. First, an AI agent creates the initial work. Then, a second judge AI comes in and audits that work for mistakes. And only then, at the very end, does a human step in to add that final polish, that taste, that critical judgment. I just love this quote from Anthropic's CEO. Instead of using those hyped-up terms like AGI or artificial general intelligence, he paints a much clearer picture. He calls it a country of geniuses in the data center, a scalable digital workforce of experts on tap. But as with any huge technological leap, this incredible promise, it comes with some equally harsh realities. So that's the promise. Now, let's talk about the peril. Because that optimistic vision of flawless AI agents doing our bidding, it's already running into some serious hurdles. The path to 2026 isn't some smooth upward curve. It's looking a lot more fractured. First up, let's talk about memory. The hype is that an agent will have this perfect continuous memory of a project. But the reality is something one expert calls drift and intent. You see, AI memory uses compression, which is great at preserving the structure of information, but not always the subtle meaning. So over a long project, the agent can slowly start to forget the original why behind its tasks. And this highlights that huge gap between the hype and the reality. The marketing, it promises us a friendly helper. But the reality, at least at first, is probably going to be more like a script kiddie with a smile. Now, for those who don't know, a script kiddie is a term for an amateur hacker who just uses pre-written code to cause chaos. In this case, it's a super powerful tool that can execute your own mistakes faster and fail more spectacularly than anything you've ever used before. This really gets to a crucial point, and it was captured perfectly by, of all people, a Reddit user. We all imagine progress as this smooth, continuous curve going up and to the right. But the reality is a fractured manifold with sharp edges. Think about that. Sudden failures, collapses in public trust, and governments pulling the emergency brake. Those sharp edges, that's where the real danger is. And underneath all of these practical problems, there's an even deeper, more technical conflict going on: the architecture wars. The very foundation that today's AI is built on, something called the transformer, it's being challenged. Okay, so this basically comes down to a battle of architectures. On one side, you have transformers. That's the tech behind models like GPT-4. They're incredibly powerful, but also really inefficient. To understand just one word, they have to compare it to every other word in the text. Now imagine doing that for a 500-page book. It's a lot. In contrast, you've got these new emerging models like Liquid AI. They work more like a flowing river, processing information as it comes. This makes them way more efficient for those long, complex tasks we want agents to do. So here's the core problem with that old architecture. As the task gets longer, the cost and the energy needed don't just go up, they explode. Doubling the amount of text you're processing can literally more than quadruple the cost. And that makes the whole dream of agents working for days or weeks on a single project completely unsustainable with that old tech. And of course, as these incredibly powerful agents become a reality,
they bring a whole host of new, unseen dangers. Dangers related to governance, risk, and control. I mean, how do we even manage them safely?
This is the big one. This is the central question that is keeping experts up at night. If an autonomous AI agent makes a mistake that costs the company millions of dollars, who is legally responsible? Is it the developer who built a model, the company that used it, or maybe the employee who gave it the initial prompt?
Experts are breaking this down into 3 core challenges. First is identity. How can we be sure who or what an agent even is, and how do we trace its actions? Next is responsibility. When things inevitably go wrong, who takes the blame? And finally, security. If these agents have the keys to our most critical systems, how on earth do we stop them from being hijacked?
So to deal with this, experts are proposing a whole set of baseline safeguards. Things like giving agents the absolute minimum permissions they need to do their job, setting up boundaries on what they can remember or access, constant human monitoring, and maybe most importantly, a kill switch to shut them down if they ever go rogue.
All of these technological shifts, all these governance problems, they bring us right back to where we started, the people. Because as AI evolves, we are becoming the bottleneck, and that's leading to what some are calling a professional identity crisis. This quote just reframes the entire challenge perfectly. We're not just talking about reskilling here. This is role identity collapse. It means our professional value is no longer defined by our ability to do a task. The very definition of what it means to be an expert is changing right under our feet.
So the new skill set that's emerging is really a form of management philosophy. The most valuable people are going to be the ones who can effectively lead and orchestrate teams made up of both human experts and these fleets of specialized AI agents. Your job becomes less about execution and more about strategy, quality control, and just plain good judgment. And the sheer scale of this shift is unprecedented. Analysts are predicting that the training and reskilling required to adapt to this new reality will be greater than all the professional training that has happened over the last quarter century combined. It is a total retooling of the global workforce.
Which really leaves us with one critical question. AI is shifting from being a passive tool to an active teammate. The technology is arriving, that's a given. The real question is, are we ready for it?